Here we are, face to face, just a couple of silver spoons. It is TexAgs Rewind, and M&M is in the house, or the Unabomber, Gabe Bach. What's up, bro?
Hi, my name is.
Trying to be a little slim shady there. All right, so the show was
more like the Unabomber than anything.
You do, but I like the hip hop flow. Hey, so we had Chris Landry on the show every Wednesday. We do. He is amazing with his takes and his analysis. He broke down Zach Calzada. We also had Jordan Pugh in the house talking a little pass rush.
Love JP.
Isn't he good?
Got to bring some energy.
Yeah, he's excellent. He's also moving his hat all around. I love it. Coach G in the house as well. They got Pepperdine coming up this upcoming weekend.
Ooh.
And Bronny with some recruiting updates. And Gabe Bach, you brought it as always, did you not? What was your favorite part of your interview? It wasn't an interview, conversation.
4 downs, man. I'm still believing in Zach Calzada. I mean, guy's got a bazooka for an arm. I give him more time with Jimbo. Jimbo has a history of success doing this stuff with quarterbacks. I'm excited to see what he's going to look like. Remember, Kellen Mond, the same year that he, as a freshman, that he looked terrible at UCLA, about 3 weeks later, he beat Arkansas with some tremendous throws. Now, this is a better Arkansas team, but this is a much better. That was someone's last year. A much better Texas A&M team. I'm not nervous about that game like a lot of people are, and I'm not down on Zach Calzada.
That's Gabe Bach. This is TexAgs Rewind. Was it the offensive line that wasn't getting the push? Was it all about Colorado's front, and our team's going to be doing this the rest of the way until Zach can prove that he can throw?
Yes, and as I mentioned, the numbers, too many guys to block. They played numbers in the box. They basically cheated 8.5, sometimes 9 guys, and they would drop them out on a post snap at times. But they were going to take away the run. They were going to put numbers in the run and say, go out and beat us. And they play some single high, but it was all numbers. And yes, that's what teams are going to do. You know, they're going to have to make plays in the passing game, or quarterback's going to have to make plays with his feet at times. People are going to overplay the run and play numbers in the box, David, when you can't throw the football effectively. But because they didn't throw it effectively this past week, doesn't mean that it won't get better with reps. How much better? Don't know. That's what we're going to have to see, but it'll get better. You never stay the same. I don't care who you are. You never stay the same. Player, coach, team, either get better or get worse. So I know the answer is, well, or is this going to affect them? We don't know how A&M stacks up in the West. They're good, but so are other teams. The quarterback play could be a deciding factor, and don't know how well he's going to progress. All we know is kind of what the staff has been able to do in the past, and we'll see how well it goes going forward. But absolutely, people are going to overplay the run, and until they're able to make them beat them with the passing game, and that is the ball comes out quicker. There's a lot of things you can implement in the game plan that really were done on the fly Saturday against I think a better team than probably most people think, but that's going to be the game plan against them, and that's what they're going to be faced with.
It is the Texas A&M Scouting Report with Chris Landry, LandryFootball.com. All right, Chris, we talked about how the offense made adjustments and made life better for Zach. How about the defense? They were lights out after that half. I mean, they did not allow anything against Colorado. What did you see that they changed?
Well, I thought they did a really good job. They struggled early when Colorado ran some zone read stuff, and they didn't set the edge very well. But then they really did a good job. They kind of reestablished the line of scrimmage, did a better job. One of the things you have to do in an RPO game, in any misdirection game, anything, you've got to be able to set the edge. What does that really mean? You've got to rush to the heels of the offensive tackles and not get too far upfield. I thought that they got caught up a good bit. I thought they settled in. They made really good adjustments at basically setting the edge and mush rushing a little bit, and they control the line of scrimmage. They began to kind of establish the line of scrimmage there. I thought the linebackers really overran a lot of plays early in that inside run game. Those are some of the adjustments that they made. Did a little bit better job with their run fits, not being over aggressive. The big thing in defensive football, it's about assignment. There are a myriad of ways to do it, but you've got 7 gaps to defend, and everybody has to be in their gap and do their job. And a lot of times what you have is say, go out and make a play. Well, you've got to make a play within an assignment, because you can't go and override and do something and chase because on a cutback, on a quick release throw, you got nobody doing your job, and you're going to be reamed for it. So I think one of the things that I saw early is just from an aggressive standpoint, over-aggressive standpoint, they adjusted what Colorado was doing in some of the RPO games. So I thought it was a really good job. I think that, the other thing that A&M does probably more than anybody in the SEC, Mike does it, Mike Elko, they show as many they stem their front more than anybody. They show more pre-snap movements and then adjust to it post-snap than anybody. And I just thought they got out of position a little bit, and I thought they were able to really do a good job making those adjustments with their run fits, and just much more sound there. And I didn't think this Colorado offense would have enough explosiveness, particularly against this A&M defense. But that was, beyond expectation, because with the offense missing opportunities and not being able to get it done, the defense is back on the field and back on the field and back on the field. The other thing, and I didn't know this until talking to a couple of the coaches, that the defense, and this is where I think you've got something that you can build upon. The defense never got frustrated. I was told that behind the scenes they would say, just give us one, but we'll stop them. We'll get it back for you. And again, I thought in the end they were able to get it done. So, but defensively, I thought the whole game they did a tremendous job.
Jordan, from a player's perspective, help us understand how the three layers of defense have to work together. Look, you can have a great front and your back line can be a disaster, but when all three are working in unison, how that makes such a difference?
Oh, it's huge. It's huge. What people don't understand is it all starts with the front. And people hear that, but people really don't understand that. Being a guy who played in secondary, played at the corner and safety position, if that front does not impose any kind of threat at all to the offense, it's a long day in that secondary perspective, man, trying to cover guys, the type of routes that they can run. What you notice later on, especially in that second half, the adjustments that they made, you saw a lot more stunts on the defensive line, which created a lot more pressure and opened up a lot more opportunities for our pressure game with the inside backers, and also with Johnson coming off the edge as a nickel, right? With that created quick rhythm throws on offense. So offensively, Colorado had to get the ball out fast, meaning the secondary could sit, they could play more aggressive, knowing that the ball's coming out, especially when you have the hosses up front like we do, right? So, when you look at it, when you look at the three layers of the defense, that D-line correlates with the pass and with the run. The linebackers, they run free, unblocked on any type of run fit. And when you look at the secondary, they can sit, they can be aggressive, they can play free, knowing that ball has to come out quick.
A lot of good reason to come beyond just the soccer.
Right. Well, first off, talk about the promotions going on. It is a Sunday Fun Day, which is any adult that comes buys a general admission ticket, which is dirt cheap. You can get up to 4 kids in for free. So bring the kids out. It's a great event. This particular event is our Turn It Gold game. Gold is the color of juvenile cancer awareness, and it is the number one killer of kids. More than 90,000. So think about last week's or 2 weeks ago's football game had 97,000 people at it. Think about every one of those kids. Every one of those people is a kid, and none of them are allowed to leave the stadium because they all died. Well, that's what we face every year with juvenile cancer. It's one of the less funded cancer research options. I mean, Women's Breast Cancer has done a wonderful job of how they've gone about it, but we work with a group out of Houston called the Turn It Gold Foundation, and they work specifically with individual doctors and researchers, a lot in MD Anderson and other places, to try to find a way to try to battle this terrible killer of kids. And so for us, this is our big fundraiser. We're allowed one fundraising game, and this is our cause. So we'll be wearing special gold and maroon uniforms, which we've done. We're going to retire those uniforms after the game, and those you can buy those uniforms. These are actual game. We're going to wash them first, but these are game worn uniforms by the Aggies.
Tease the visitor list a little bit. If you're a subscriber to the site, you know that there is a big-time in-state target that's made plans to come on Saturday morning. I've gotten text from a few kids saying they would be here on Saturday. So for a non-conference 11 a.m. kickoff in the middle of September, I think you're going to have a pretty strong visitor list. And, you shouldn't expect anything less with Coach Fisher. I mean, that's what he does. Big time game, non-big time game. If there's an opportunity to get kids to campus and take in the Kyle Field atmosphere, I think you do it at every opportunity you can if you're a member of that recruiting staff, because that's one of your biggest selling points is what happens in this town on game day.
All right, guys, can you drop a hip hop flow? Tell people what to do. He's just walking out. So, you know what? We don't need you in the cut. What are we supposed to do after the video?
Lottie Dottie.
I like the party.
Likes to potty.
Wow, this is so awkward. Just subscribe, like, comment.
Hey, smash the like button, baby.
Oh my goodness, This is really uncomfortable. Goodbye.